Hey guys, good evening. It is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. It's great to be with you on Inspirations for Your Life. This evening, what is it? Tuesday, July 22nd, 2025. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time being with me, well, I would like to welcome you here personally from the bottom of my heart. If you're coming back, well, I definitely would like to say welcome back. It's always great to have fellow friends, family, colleagues that really appreciate the quality of my content and hopefully choose to apply it to their life to make it even better. All right, friends, if you haven't heard about believemeachieve.com, what are you waiting for? Go check it out after the show, not now. And if any of you guys are thirsty, I just had dinner a little while ago. Feel free to get yourself something to eat, something to drink, maybe a snack, maybe some fruit, and get comfortable, cozy up here, and listen to the show because I think you guys are going to really enjoy the show. So the master topic, that is the master topic for this entire week, in case you guys are wondering what that was. Well, I'm going to tell you. The power of presence. How slowing down awakens what matters most. And I think that's something that a lot of people have a hard time with because they don't realize that they have, well, that type of power, right? I think that's a big thing for a lot of people. They don't realize that they have that kind of power. And today's granular topic is, well, hope in the hard stuff. Why purpose is born through discomfort. Series 4, Show 30, episode number 4. Now, I know what a lot of you are saying. Hey, John, why does it always have to be uncomfortable? Well, I got to tell you something. Success actually brews where it is uncomfortable. Yeah, so just get over that. All right. So I'd like to again formally welcome everyone to another transformational episode of, yes, the Inspirations for Your Life podcast. I am your host, podcast coach, serial entrepreneur, video producer, engineer, graduate student, and much more. I'm John C. Morley, and tonight I'm diving very deep into a universal truth that's often overlooked. Purpose is not born in comfort. It is carved out in the trenches of discomfort, whether it's a moment of failure, heartbreak, rejection, or possibly uncertainty. It's within those trying experiences of our life that we discover who we truly are. And more importantly, why we're meant to do. Buckle up. It's going to be a little rough tonight because I'm going to be helping you embrace discomfort, not as a curse, but as a catalyst that will hopefully propel us all forward into powerful purpose. I think a lot of people get scared when they hear about the word discomfort, like they want to just go run for the hills, but that's not the right thing to do. Number one, discomfort often signals growth is near. Yes, it does. When you feel the tension, the unease, or the friction in your life, it's a signal that transformation is right around the corner. Discomfort is not the enemy, folks. It's often the alarm clock for growth. Like, well, muscles, that kind of tear and break down when you work them out. Before they can rebuild stronger, they have to first tear. And discomfort stretches us so we can expand into, well, our next version of ourselves. But a lot of people are fearful because they don't like that there's discomfort. I won't call it pain. I'll call it discomfort, right? And nobody likes discomfort. So they want to stay away from it, hedge it. Number two, challenges force us to find an inner strong strength. It's easy to coast when life is easy. But when a challenge arises, we're called to tap into a part of ourselves we may have forgotten or never even knew existed. True strength doesn't show up in comfort. It's revealed in battle. And that's what courage is born from and confidence is built upon. Number three, discomfort. Some people call it pain. I'm going to call it discomfort. It reveals what truly matters to us. When you're hurting, you're paying attention. Pain strips away the superficial and brings your focus to what's real, raw, and essential for your life. It forces you to ask, what do I value? What do I care about? And the answers to these specific questions often lead straight to, yes, your purpose, which also comes from, ladies and gentlemen, your core values. That's right, your core values. Number four, purpose emerges from overcoming adversity. There's a powerful word. It's not what knocks you down that defines you. It's what you do after you get down, right? We've talked to some of the biggest fighters out there, and it doesn't matter how many times they get down, as long as they get back up again. Overcoming adversity gives your story some meaning and inspires others to start living theirs. Those hard earned lessons often become the message you're meant to share with the world. Number five, struggles give meaning to our journey. Life without struggle will be flat and flavorless. The ups and the downs, the trials and the triumphs, that's what makes the journey rich. Purpose isn't about avoiding hardship, it's about finding meaning within it and letting it guide you. That's pretty cool. Number six, discomfort pushes us out of complacency, right? The mediocreness, the fact that we're comfortable. We all fall into routines, but comfortable zones are where dreams, well, unfortunately, they go to die. Discomfort shakes us up and says, hey, you were made for more. You were made for greatness. It ignites the fire within our heart that lets us do more, to improve, and to chase what is putting our soul on fire. Now, I'm not going to tell you that it's just going to be handed to you, because it's not. You're going to have to want this. True resilience is built in hardship. You don't learn resilience from a textbook. It's learned on the battlefield of life. When life knocks you down repeatedly and you get up stronger each time, that resilience becomes your strength and is now born. And with resilience, ladies and gentlemen, comes purpose, because you've proven to yourself that you can endure and evolve. The path to purpose is rarely comfortable, so don't expect a nice, comfy chair. People think purpose is a peaceful, clear path. It's not. It's messy. It's filled with fear, failure, and friction. But that discomfort is what shapes your character and clarifies your mission. If it were easy, everyone would be living their purpose. Failure teaches us direction, not defeat. Failure isn't the end, folks. It's just a redirection. When something doesn't work, it nudges us closer to what will eventually work. It's a data point, right? It's not the end. And every failure contains feedback that's essential for discovering and rediscovering what our purpose is. And I think that's something that a lot of people, again, they hedge away from it. They're scared of it. They don't really know like what it is. Is that important? I think so. Number 10, breakdowns often lead to breakthroughs. You can't rebuild what's not broken. Often it's in the breakdown when everything falls apart that a new vision is born. Breakdowns are the turning points that crack us open so light can get in. On the other side is often the breakthrough you never saw coming. Number 11, purpose isn't found in ease. It's forged in a fire. Your purpose is not waiting for you on a beach with a drink in hand. It's found in the fire of life, the toughest trials. Just like mental is refined in heat, your calling is shaped through friction. Fire doesn't destroy, it defines. And I think that sometimes when people feel it's hot, they don't realize that they can manage the temperature, that they can deal with it, that they can use it as a growth stone. Number 12, suffering reveals our true values and vision from the core. When you suffer, your soul starts speaking louder. What you care about becomes clearer. That suffering, while painful, helps you strip away the noise and the focus on the vision you're meant to pursue and the values you want to live by. Number 13, obstacles refine, not define us. The things that get in our way aren't there to stop us, folks. They're there to shape us, redirect us. Every obstacle is a sculptor's chisel, carving away the necessary elements and debris to reveal that Picasso, that masterpiece within us. Let the challenge refine you, not reduce you. Number 14, comfort zones are creativity killers. Purpose often demands innovation, and innovation thrives in risk, not routine. When you're too comfortable, your mind stays lazy. Discomfort, on the other hand, demands creativity, new thinking, and courageous action. Number 15, when you embrace discomfort, purpose follows. Stop running from discomfort. Start leaning into it. When you do, you begin to see discomfort not as something to avoid, but as the guide toward your mission. Purpose isn't hiding from you, it's waiting just beyond what you're afraid to feel. And, a lot of people I've talked to, and they don't achieve success, they had the opportunity, but they don't want to. You know why they don't want to? They're afraid of not only failure, they're afraid, guys, of success. That's right, they're afraid of success. Here's the part of the show, guys, I really love a lot. Well, I love the whole show, but I love this part. So I'm going to give you basically a personal story of mine or lesson, one for each point I shared tonight. And I'm hoping that this is going to ignite a fire under you. It's going to get you to see hey, you know what? I do have more potential. I can actually do this. Hey, I believe in myself. That's the very first part, guys. You got to believe in yourself every single time. You have to believe in yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, no one's going to believe in you. No one is going to believe in you. And that might sound a little bit crazy, but it's the truth. Right? It is the truth. And I think the truth is going to set us free if we acknowledge it. So I want to give you, like I said, a personal lesson or story for each point tonight. And I'm hoping that you will embrace these, that it will ignite a fire in you. It will get you to see the true value that you haven't been given credit. Maybe other people were knocking you down, right? Maybe you had the potential along, but you never really took the ball and ran with it because everyone else said you don't belong as a quarterback or as a basketball player or as a sports person. You don't belong because you don't know what you're doing. Well, you hear that enough. You know what's going to happen? Well, it's going to be a problem for a lot of people. Right? It's going to be a very, very big problem. And I'm hoping that you guys can embrace that, right? When somebody tells you you can't do something, what do you guys do? Do you go away or do you think about it? So, by me giving you a personal story or lesson tonight, one for basically each point, I think it will not only transform you, but it will help you to realize that you can do these things if you just start to believe. Macy's has had this slogan, I think, for many years. I think they still have it. Christmas is the magic of believing. Now, it's not an accident that I picked believemeachieve.com. There were many times I didn't achieve things when I was younger, and it was all because of one thing. You know what that was? My belief. So if we get you to change just one thing, right? Just one thing in your life, just that one thing, I think your life could really, 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 really change. But you have to do this with true intention. You can't say, well, gee, I believe, but then you really don't believe, right? I think that's a real like mess, right? Because if you say to yourself you believe, but then on the inside you're telling yourself, well, I don't believe, right? Like that's not walking the walk and talking the talk, right? Right? That's talking the talk, but if you don't walk the walk, what happens? It's like nobody works. No part of your body decides to do anything because it doesn't think you're worthy. Discomfort often comes, well, in a time that will signal growth is near. A few years ago, I had left a project to pursue an even bigger project. But initially, the contract rate for the client was a lot lower on this bigger project, but aligned more with my interest and my intentions. It was just flipping a client for another client. The first few weeks were a little bit rough because I was uncomfortable, unsure, and questioning my decisions daily. The comfort of knowing that one project had a steady bill rate that our company was able to bill every single week was great. This one was not so secure. Some weeks it would bill, some weeks it wouldn't. So the comfort kind of disappeared. And so that was replaced, the comfort, by some sleepless nights and some self doubt. But in that friction, something inside me began to wake up and say, hey, you know what, John? I now can learn faster. I can network more. I can realize I have more skills than anyone ever said. The discomfort was the signpost for transformation. But I didn't like discomfort. I was afraid of discomfort. I had built my own client base and started thriving in space I truly cared about. And I never wanted to lose a client, but there's sometimes when a relationship is not meant to continue. Not nice to say, but that can happen sometimes. Two people, they grow apart. I remember one of my professors at college didn't use the word that the couple got a divorce. They said they got uncoupled. And I thought that was such a very polite way of saying they got a divorce, right? So challenges force us to find, well, that inner strength. I remember the day I was in my car. This was a while ago. And for whatever reason, I wasn't paying attention to the gas gauge. And I always figured I could milk it a little bit more. And I was about maybe a couple miles from a gas station. And roadside assistance was so swamped that they weren't getting there anytime soon. I felt stranded, even though I wasn't like in the middle of nowhere, yet everyone was too busy to help me. At that moment, I had two choices. panic or figure out a plan. So I walked to the nearest gas station. I didn't even have a can to put the gas in. I met somebody there. I wound up buying this plastic gas can, filling it with just enough, going back to my car to fill it enough so I could come down and buy the gas. Now, they told me they don't take the gas cans back, but because there was still some gas in it, he was willing to take the can back. I made it home a little bit exhausted, but I was empowered that evening because I made a decision that got me out of a bind. That challenge showed me I had more resilience than I believed I did. We don't really know our strengths until we're forced to use them. Comfort never would have been introduced to me if I hadn't changed, right? Comfort wouldn't have brought me the solution. Now, when life throws me a curveball or some lemons, well, I make it a straight ball and I turn them into lemonade. I remember that I had met my inner strength before, and now I can meet it again and again. You see, people yap, yap, yap with their mouth, okay? But they don't know you, okay? They don't know your skills. They don't know what you can do. People just like to yap, 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 yap. Discomfort and pain reveals what truly matters to us. After a, let's say, disruption with one of my businesses around the COVID time, got a little bit blindsided. I spent some weeks in some emotional challenges, wondering what I was going to do. Didn't know how I'd survive because things had changed. Keynotes weren't being hired back then. I had built a little bit of, a panic and put my identity around what I expected, but it wasn't happening. I was left wondering, who was I? And where do I go from here? That season hurt me, but it also stripped away the surface distractions that many people have. It helped me see what really matters: self-respect, purpose, and relationships that nourish rather than drain you. You know the ones I mean. You hang around people and you get recharged. Those are great people you're around. You hang out with other people and you feel like you're so exhausted. Those are people you don't want to be around. Discomfort and pain became my teacher. And through it, I'd rediscovered myself in a very unique way that I never knew was possible. Purpose emerges from overcoming adversity. Growing up, I struggled with some challenges. One of my challenges was being flat-footed. And again, not a big deal, but I like to walk and I like to run. And so I had to build up my feet a little more so I could do that. And, when you hear people, oh, you don't want to do that, you're flat-footed. People put premonitions in my mind before I even had a chance to think for myself. The adversity became the fuel for something bigger. I began realizing that I could lead a hike, that I could do other things. What once felt like my greatest weakness became the source of my true purpose in life. Struggles give meaning to our journey. Many years ago, when I had tried to launch another startup after my tech company, I had this idea for an amazing wireless alarm product. Everything was fantastic. But I was so excited about the product that I was talking to everybody about it. Talking to people before my patent application ever got put in. We went on TV, all these great things, but I forgot the one thing I should have done, which was apply for a patent. 2 weeks after we were on major TV, a local store had a product very similar to mine, and at half the price, which was like very hard to do. But they were taking a risk. They see that I did all the research and had the money, so they were willing to spend a few $1,000,000 to get things into production. I didn't have the money to do an assembly line. I was just building it as I need, a couple JIT here and there. So the struggle is what lighted up my life. And I felt like everything I had worked for collapsed overnight in that one moment. But the wreckage, I took a pause and I reflected. I realized that I learned more in those, 24 months than in anything I ever did in my life about business, people, and most of all, myself. That struggle gave me a path very deep that I never expected, and lessons I didn't even think I needed to learn. Discomfort pushes us out of complacency. If you're used to living on autopilot, maybe it's time that you change things up a little bit. Change your plans. Take a different route to work. Just change your routine a little bit. Leaving my comfort zone reminded me I wasn't made for a life of just safety, but for a life of true purpose. Since then, I've pursued passions that once scared me. And each time discomfort was the door I had to walk through first. Resilience isn't built in hardship, right? Or is it? It is. During a tough, challenging point, I remember in the very beginning years before I got really going, I worked a couple jobs. I'd wake up before sunrise, collapse into bed after midnight, and I say, you know what? This isn't the life I was meant to live. And it changed. Those months weren't easy or glamorous, but they were the foundation that built John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. They taught me how to persevere when nothing comes easy. And that resilience is still with me today. It's the quiet strength I tap into when life feels, a little bit overwhelming. Even in school, being back as a grad student now and taking some very advanced math courses, they can be challenging sometimes, even though I love math. The path to purpose is rarely comfortable. So let's just accept the fact, ladies and gentlemen, that life's got to be uncomfortable and we got to get used to it. Because if we do, there'll be a prize for us to celebrate that'll be even greater than we ever imagined. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your evening, and I'll catch you real soon. And check out believemeachieve.com.